Welcome back to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's podcast, I'm joined by Cornell men's hockey player Zach Tupker. Welcome to the podcast, Zach, and how's everything going?
Hey, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Things are going pretty well right now. I just got back on campus, and honestly, no complaints.
That's good to hear. And your season was canceled a few months ago. What was your reaction to that news, and what have you been doing ever since then?
Yeah, obviously, just like the initial shock, huge disappointment just after, last season we had so much success as a team and as a program. So we're definitely looking to build off that. And then, just going forward, we kind of just, it is what it is, right? So just have to deal with that and move on. So, no, guys, if everyone's been back in the gym, back on the ice, we're just training hard and looking forward to next season.
Now, how are you going about preparing for next season, knowing you have almost a year and a half to prepare?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a bit of a change than in past seasons where, maybe you have 4 months at most, 5 months maybe. So I think right now everyone's just kind of focused on individual skills, working on what they can do to get better and improve themselves. Um, yeah, I think it's just all a lot of one-on-one skill work that we're doing right now. Just back to basics, just improving your stick handling, skating, shot. And then as we progress forward, we'll get back into the more team building aspect of it.
Now, what does your training look like, and what challenges have you faced doing so with less ice time and gyms being closed?
Yeah, so um, the me, my brother, um, one of my good buddies in my class, Sebastian Durbin, we're all from Ontario, so right now there's a big shutdown there. They can only go to the grocery store, and that's pretty much it. So we made the decision at the beginning of January that we're going to come back to Ithaca a little bit earlier. So we just got out of the quarantine. So we've been skating about 4 times a week now. We're working out about 5 or 6 times, just however our bodies will kind of allow us. So yeah, we've been trying to do everything we can, but obviously it's been a challenge. So yeah.
And what does your on-ice training look like so far?
Yeah. So right now, just as I mentioned, that it's only the three of us on the ice, so it's just a lot of one-on-one stuff, um, just a lot of edges that we can just do ourselves. So just skating, and then a lot of passing, just getting our touches back because it's been a bit of a break since we've been off campus.
Now, what is something you think you need to improve on the most to your game, and how have you tried to improve that area of your game so far this offseason?
Yeah, so I think everyone always wants to kind of score more goals. It's, scoring goals is what I think is one of the more fun aspects of hockey. So I've been working a lot on my shot lately to improve it. I mean, uh, just doing it in the gym, you work on your forearms a lot of forearm exercises. But, one of the best goal scorers in the game is Austin Matthews. So he's so successful because he's able to change the angle pretty effectively. So just in the individual skills, just working on getting that touch and then changing the angle, trying to be one step out of the goalie. So um, just improve your shot and score more goals, hopefully.
Yeah, and have you been watching any college hockey this year?
Um, College hockey, I've been watching a little bit of it. Been watching a little bit of Hockey East just because it's pretty accessible. It's a pretty great conference, a lot of skilled players in there.
Now, how significant will the Ivy League schools' absence have on college hockey, more specifically the ECAC? Because right now only four teams are playing each other, and I find it pretty odd.
Yeah, no, definitely. From um, just as a member of the ECAC, I'm happy those teams, anyways, that they're able to make it work and play. And from the outside looking in, it seems to be successful right now. Um, Obviously, next year with the Ivy League coming back, it'll be an exciting time. I think every team's right now is working hard, training hard. So I think the ECAC should be pretty exciting to watch next year, just because everyone's have a bit of the chip on the shoulder right now.
Definitely. Now, do you know what the season next year will look like? Because obviously the vaccine is still being distributed around North America. Do you have any idea what the season will look like, if there will still be fans, or will it be kind of what it looks like now?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, fingers crossed. Hopefully, everyone's praying for it. So I have no idea, but I'm really hoping because we have some of the best fans in college hockey. So I'm hoping that we can get fans back in the building and get back to playing games.
Now, what are some of your goals and expectations for next season? And do you get an extra year of eligibility not playing this year?
Yeah, so to my understanding, I do get an extra year. I haven't looked into it too much, to be honest with you, but pretty basic. I'm pretty certain I do. And expectations. So we had a really good freshman class come in this year. They were on campus with us. we had the opportunity to skate and work out with them all fall semester, and then obviously those guys are back to junior right now. But the freshman class this year is really exciting. I know all the guys were talking about them, just we're really happy to have them in the program. So I think we have pretty high expectations, just building off all the success and accolades we racked up last year. Even though we don't have a season this year, we have a lot of guys returning. A lot of guys are just getting bigger, faster, stronger to make us even more formidable in the future. And I think that the future of Cornell hockey is going to be pretty successful, I think.
Now,
No,
what type of
sorry, no, I apologize. There's no set expectations I mentioned in there, but just looking to build off last year's success.
Yeah, and what type of leadership do you want to bring to the team next season? Are you more of a vocal leader or lead by example type of player?
I think I'm more of a try and lead by example, just in the locker room, in the weight room, and on the ice. Just trying to do things the right way. I'm not might not be the most vocal in the room. I have a twin brother on the team, and he likes to talk a lot. So sometimes when you're having a conversation with the both of us, he can kind of outshadow me a little bit sometimes, just because he likes to get his 2 cents across. But yeah, so I try and be a little more lead by example. Just do the right things, do things right, and yeah.
Now, obviously, there's going to be like 2 new freshman classes coming in, the freshman this year and the freshman next year. How are you going to try to help their transition into college hockey, especially with such a big class coming into your school?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be I'm not sure the specific number, but I think it's in the double digits for sure. So, um, we just try and learn from the upperclassmen. So they're so good to me last year, right from day one, kind of like just showing you how Cornell hockey operates and why it's been so successful in the past. So try and learn from them. Then it's obviously gonna be a little bit different with such a large class coming in, but just try and do our best to get to know each and every guy personally and make them feel super welcome to the campus and to the Cornell hockey family.
Now, I want to start off talking about the beginning of your hockey career. You're from Collingwood, Ontario. How did you start playing hockey and falling in love with the sport?
Yeah, so both my parents played hockey growing up. They never, my dad played junior hockey, but he never uh, made like college hockey or anything like that. But just both my parents really enjoy watching hockey, so they kind of introduced me to it from a pretty young age. And then me and my brother both took a liking to it right away.
Now, who was your favorite player growing up?
Favorite player growing up would have to be a big Leafs fan. So obviously, I think Matt Sundin was pretty entertaining to watch.
Now, before Cornell, you played for the Carleton Place Canadians. How did you get the opportunity to play with that organization?
Yeah. So I went back after my minor midget year and played another year major midget. Just didn't think I was ready for the jump to junior hockey. So after that year major midget, I was kind of just looking for a good place to fit. Um, to kind of a place that pushed a lot of prospects to NCAA, because that was my ultimate goal. So Carleton Place has been a big powerhouse in Ontario. I'd say they're probably one of the best programs. I would say they're the best program in Canada, just from the amount of guys they push to college. So obviously I wanted to go there. I went to a camp. Jason Clark is the coach there, liked what he saw, so he offered us contracts there.
Yeah, and talk about playing in the CCHL, and how did your experience there help prepare you for college hockey? Because I see you won a league title with Carleton in your time there.
Yeah, so that was my first year. We had a really good team that year. That was just one of the highlights of my experience of my hockey career. I mean, anytime you win a championship, it's pretty special. Yeah, I think the CCHL is a great league. There's a lot of guys that go from that league to play college and been successful. Obviously, with the World Junior Championships that this happened, Devin Levi, who played in Carleton Place, was the starting goalie there. So that's the big alumni right now that everyone's been talking about. But yeah, it's a great league. I have nothing but good things to say about it.
You also won a bronze medal for the CCHL AllStar Team in 2018, 2019. Talk about that experience and what it means to you.
Yeah, no, that was that was an amazing experience. Being able to go experience a place like Russia with so much culture and history there. And then the team we had was pretty special. I mean, we were together for about 2 weeks, I want to say, in Russia. So such a great bonding experience to meet just so many different guys, get to know them pretty well. And then the competition over there was really good. It's the top teams from all like the European leagues. So there's a team from Russia, a team from Sweden, even a team from China. Yeah, so the fact we go over there with just like a kind of a didn't get too many practices and just kind of thrown into the tournament and get a bronze medal was just super memorable.
Was there any culture shock you faced going to Russia for the first time?
Yeah, obviously the food's a little bit different than the North American style we're used to, so just kind of getting used to that. But then the people there were super nice. We were in Moscow and Sochi, and everyone there was, um, yeah, nothing but great things to say about that place. It was a really fun time.
Now, talk about your recruiting process and why did you choose to go to Cornell? Because I know recruiting process for Ivy League schools is a bit different than other universities, just because there's no letter of intention.
Yeah, so I started talking to Cornell my first year in Carleton Place, and that's kind of how the recruitment process started. It was went down and visited the campus, and just kind of fell in love right away. I mean, the campus here is just really nice. There's so much history here, so much tradition with the hockey program, especially. And then kind of watched a game. The first game we saw was against Princeton, and the student section was just going nuts. The atmosphere is unreal. And kind of from that first game I watched, I always knew that if I ever got the offer, then I'd jump on it immediately because it's so special. And about 7 or 8 months later, at the CCHL showcase, Coach Schaefer came to watch my brother and I play, and he offered us to come play for Cornell, and I think we just jumped on it immediately.
And what was the biggest adjustment you had to make to college hockey? Was it more the mental side of the game, making quicker decisions with the puck, or was it more just the physicality, playing against players that were 4 years older than you were when you were a freshman?
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of both. Just going from junior hockey, the speed, everything's so much quicker. Like the puck's on your stick, and immediately feels like there's a guy like coming at you right away, right? So obviously that's a big thing. Just learning to just look over your shoulder before you get that puck, so you kind of get an idea on the ice where some of your teammates are to pass it to them. So that was a big thing. But then also like the physicality, as you mentioned. Um, you going against guys that are a few years older than you, a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit stronger than you are. So you kind of have to learn how to protect yourself, but also how to give it right back to them and go on the offense a little bit. So yeah, a little bit of both, I'd say.
Now, you also get to play with your twin brother, Ben, like you've been mentioning throughout the podcast. What's it like to play college hockey with him?
Yeah, it's super special. I mean, me and Ben have been playing hockey together for our entire life. So whenever you can do something like that with just someone who's on when you're on the ice that you trust, you know where he is. It's almost like an instinct just because we've been doing it for so long now. So yeah, it's super special. And I know my parents are pretty happy that they just have to make one road trip, so it's super convenient for them.
Now, who's the older twin?
I am older by about 6 months, I'd say. So yeah.
Nice. Now, what is it like to play under Coach Mike Schaefer, and what have you learned under him so far?
Yeah, so he's been great to my brother and I both. I've learned so much just that first month and a bit there, where you're just practicing. Just he's been around the game for so long. He has so much good advice, like just about kind of how to prepare yourself for games, even on the ice. Just um, like certain situations, it's all about for him just like just being in the right place at the right time, and like when you're in that spot, like know what to do, know where to be looking, have your stick on the puck at the right time. Yeah, so he's such a great coach, and it's so awesome to that I get to learn from him every day.
Now, this past season, you got to play in Las Vegas. Was there anything cool you got to do down there, and just talk about playing in that tournament?
Yeah, that tournament was such a cool experience. It was I think that was the first year they did it, and it was so well run. Um, we had a big turnout from the Cornell faithful there, so it's pretty awesome to see that we had such a big presence even in Las Vegas. Um, when we were there, we just kind of I'd never been to Vegas before, so it's kind of nice to like walk around the strip and just soak it all in.
Now, your team was very successful this past season. What was the key to maintaining all of that success, especially with all of the outside noise that your team faced?
Yeah, so I think the biggest key for us is that we're just super consistent. Every game we played to just we just didn't stop competing. I would say was the big thing for us. Everyone on the ice, we were finishing checks, making plays. Our upperclassmen were really good. They had everyone in line. Everyone was dialed in every time the puck hit the ice. So yeah, I think we just never stopped competing. That was the big thing for us.
At what point during the regular season did you realize just how good your team was and how you could potentially be a national championship contender?
Yeah, that's uh, honestly it was right from I think the first weekend we were at Michigan State and we beat them back to back. And for me in the locker room, just seeing how guys were so passionate, and every time they stepped on the ice, guys were like locked in, no distractions. Everyone was super super focused, and just like the way that every time there was a check to be made, guys were finishing their checks. Just for I was sitting on the bench and soaking it all in as my first kind of college experience. I kind of felt like we did something special.
Now, unfortunately, the season was cut short due to coronavirus. How did you find out, and what was your team's reaction, especially the seniors playing their final college hockey game?
Yeah, that was the toughest thing, just for the seniors. How we had such a special group last year, and it kind of just got taken away in a sense. So that was really heartbreaking to see for them. But um, I think we were kind of set the arena. We had a practice, and then we were supposed to practice. Sorry, but our coaches found out, so they just called us in the locker room and gave us the news, and it's really disappointing.
Now, you got to play with defenseman Morgan Barron. Talk about what it was like to be his teammate, both on and off the ice.
Yeah, so Morgan's like such an awesome guy. I mean, everything he gets, he's worked super, super hard for. I sat beside him in the locker room and just um, every day to see him come in ready to work. Um, he gets everything that he's earned, and he's such a great guy. Um, I would ask him some questions, just kind of like just from his game, like what he sees out there, like just little tips and tricks that he's learned along the way. And he was so great that he passed them on to me. Yeah, he's such an awesome guy.
Now, how do you balance academics and hockey at such a high level at such a prestigious university like Cornell?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are. I mean, everyone on the team has really good time management skills. Just about budgeting your time. So, I mean, when you get to the arena, you kind of have to park the school, and then you pick it back up once you walk out those doors. But as long as you kind of have a plan in place, like I think everyone has a calendar or some type of app on their phone that they budget their time. But as long as you can, you know, fit in wherever you can, just being able to hit the books, you can be successful.
And we're now in the non-hockey segment of the podcast. And my first question is, what music do you like to listen to before a game?
I don't have too much of a preference. I'm not a big music guy, to be honest with you. Maybe just kind of rap or EDM to kind of get you fired up.
Now, what is your favorite class at Cornell?
The favorite class? Oh, that's a good question. Um, I'm an economics major, so I found the intermediate microeconomics class this semester pretty interesting.
Now, if you could have lunch with any person in the world, who would it be and why?
If I could have lunch with anyone in the world, um, geez, maybe I would say Wayne Gretzky, just because he's the best to ever play the game, right? So you kind of want to pick his brain a little bit, pick his hockey knowledge, and see if you could learn anything to, see if you could play in the NHL and be one of the best players ever play.
Now, who is the funniest teammate at Cornell?
The funniest teammate. I think last year one of our captains, Jeff Mott's pretty funny.
Now,
So
who has the best style on the team besides yourself?
yeah, besides myself, um, the best style. Well, I don't want to pump too many guys' tires, but maybe Sebastian Durbin's always looking pretty good. Yeah.
Nice. Now, back to some hockey questions now. My first one is, what advice would you give a younger player trying to pursue a Division One college hockey scholarship?
Yeah, I'd always just say like keep working hard. If you have that goal in mind, then just never kind of stray from the path. It's really easy to kind of get down on yourself and be mentally discouraged, but you kind of always got to be looking forward and working for the next thing.
Now, 3-on-3 overtime has also been introduced to college hockey this year. I know you haven't played in one yet, but what's that going to be like for yourself being an offensive player and having more space on the ice and more chances to score?
Yeah, it's definitely really exciting. I think a lot of guys were um, pretty happy with the news that was going to happen, just because 3-on-3 is so exciting, and it seems like everyone always tunes into the highlights whenever an overtime game is on. So I think just with the kind of skill we have in college hockey right now, it's going to be really exciting.
Now, what should I do better to improve this podcast and make this platform better?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I've been on your Instagram, and I think like you're I have nothing. I think your graphics are awesome. You've got like a lot of good podcast episodes banked. I know my brother was talking about the one you did with the captain of Minnesota Duluth. I'm blanking right now, sorry. But he was pretty interested in taking a listen to that. So I think you have some really good guests. Graphics look awesome. I have no I apologize, but I have nothing to give you.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, Zach. Now, what message will you give Cornell fans right now? I know there is no season, so what are your message to the fans on this platform, I guess?
Yeah, I just say thank you for the support. All the teammates and I, we really love playing at Cornell. The line of faith is something I always hold near and dear to my heart, just because the reason I came to Cornell is the reason why I love playing for Cornell.
Yeah, talk about what it's like to play at that rink. I've never been there before, but watching it on YouTube and TV, it seems like the atmosphere there is pretty electric.
Yeah, it's been an electric factory. Just our dressing rooms. So the ice is kind of below us, our dressing room. So you walk down the stairs to the ice. And as you're walking through the tunnel, like it's just you can hear everyone just screaming, everyone's excited. The chants that they do are pretty funny, and they kind of get you fired up a little bit. When we play Harvard, it's kind of our big rival when it's at home. They'll bring fish and they'll throw them onto the ice, which is kind of a funny thing. So just all the chants that, yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome atmosphere if you ever get the chance to come out to a game.
Yeah, I'd love to come out to a game as soon as I can. Any shout outs you'd like to give to your teammates, friends, or family members? I know we've had Sam Malinsky on the podcast, so I'll give him a shout out, but anyone else?
Yeah, that Sam was actually my roommate last year, and in our freshman dorm room. So he's an awesome guy. But I guess I just like to show the boys, the teammates, the great guys. I absolutely love hanging out with them every day. So that's the shout out I give.
Well, thank you so much, Zach, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Take care, stay safe, and I can't wait to watch you play next season.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have a great day.
Yeah.